everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a bit of a different video for you guys today because it's about panic attacks. I don't really know how to go about this video because I'm not sure how much advice I can really put out there in terms of coping with them, and I'm not sure if there's any point to just telling you about a couple that I've had and what good that will bring at all, really. But I had a panic attack early this month on the 20th of August when I was coming back from London to Norwich. I think I did tweet at one point, like on the journey, saying that sometimes I get so anxious I feel like I could explode or just combust or something like that. And that was because I'd had a really terrible panic attack. I had left just about enough time for me to get from my house to London Liverpool Street and get the train. But I mean, I could have left myself some more time, so in future I must leave myself much more time because travelling makes you really anxious. I don't know what it is about travelling, but it just sets me off. It's just like the idea of maybe like missing whatever transportation that you need to take wherever you're going. Just the idea of missing that feels like the end of the world to me. I know it's not, and it's not that dramatic or whatever, but that's just like my feelings towards it. So I felt slightly panicky when I was leaving the house because I thought like the time was getting away with me, but I did have enough time to get to the station. So I got on the bus and I was really a bit panicky and like laboured breathing. I got to the train station like in good time, but for some reason the tube just sat there for like a good 10 to 15 minutes and it just wasn't going anywhere for some reason, which really was frustrating to me. But I was hoping that still I would manage to get to London Liverpool Street on time. And usually the way it works with the tube is your travel time is times 2 the amount of stops that you have to travel. So say you needed to go 2 stops, it should take you about 4 minutes. But for some reason this train that I was on just kept getting slightly more delayed and stuff, and I don't know, it just got to the point where I literally had about 2 minutes to leg it from getting off the train station, going through the barriers, through London Liverpool Street, through the other set of barriers and getting onto my train. Oh, it's making my heart race even just talking about it. But yeah, I literally had 2 minutes to spare, and then my phone, like the code that's on my phone for it to be my train ticket to scan me in, like wasn't working, and it was just really frustrating. But eventually it went through or something, and I like was trying to just leg it to the train. Luckily, for some reason, my train was slightly delayed. And bear in mind, I had like my backpack, which had like my laptop and all my stuff in it, like a suitcase, a big suitcase, and then like a hold-all. So it was a very intense like journey, I guess. And I did make it onto the train, and that was obviously fine. I didn't miss my train and whatever, but it's still like the whole getting there had just like built up, and I just kind of lost it really, and I just had a panic attack. The thing is that when I'm having a panic attack, I don't know if anyone else can tell around me whether I am having one. So I'm not sure if anyone could really tell. I wasn't crying or anything, but I was just like, I couldn't breathe properly. I was like hyperventilating. But I think you just know yourself when something like that's happening to you. So I like took off my jacket and my scarf and just tried to like calm down for a sec, but nothing was really working. So I tried to put on my headphones and listen to music, and then I got my water and I just was like sipping some water, which really helped because I was watching one of Sugg's videos about anxiety, and she was saying that like you get really overwhelmed when you have a panic attack because you're like breathing in too much oxygen, so that's why you end up hyperventilating. So having like some sips of water really helped me like control my breathing, and then I eventually like started to calm down, but in conjunction with listening to music and just closing my eyes and trying to zone out. And even though I felt really terrible, I mean, I feel like in an ideal scenario I would have liked to get off the train, but obviously we'd started moving, and then like the whole faff of going back home, even though I needed to be in Norwich, was just like a whole other thing. So yeah, that was really intense. I think it's definitely the worst one I've had. It was not fun at all. And then obviously that was kind of caused by a stressor, but I've also had one where it just has come out of the blue and just like surprised me, I guess. Like I can't remember if it was this year or last year, but I was at Tesco just in the self-checkout, checking out my groceries, and all of a sudden like my legs felt really weak and I just had the onset of a panic attack, and it was just absolutely terrible. I don't know what happened to me, so I just like quickly tried to pay for everything and just sat on the closest bench and just sat down for like a good 20 minutes and tried to just get my breathing together, and that wasn't fun at all. But one thing that Zoe mentioned in her video was that panic attacks don't last for more than 20 minutes, so it's so good to know that there's like a time limit for them and they don't just keep happening, like they don't just continue to happen, because it really feels like the end of the world for me when they're happening, and like I just can't think of anything else. It's just like I see like noise and I'm just like, I don't know even how to describe it, but I'm just not myself, and it's just I can't function or really do anything. So that's really like a relief to know that they can only last so long. Obviously it's not fun to have them at all and you wouldn't want them to be happening, but I thought that was some really great news, I guess, to hear or to know a fact about panic attacks. But maybe if I just share like things that help, which is definitely sitting down would be the first thing, because sometimes your legs go and you just can't really handle standing or anything. Trying to get a drink of water, because I feel like that really forces your breathing to kind of become a bit more normalised. I think closing your eyes is quite good just to kind of block out the world, even though you're not really concentrating what's going on around you. I feel like that's really helpful. If you can listen to some music or something just to like properly take you out of wherever you are as well as having your eyes closed, that's really useful. And I feel like if it really does get to a state, try and tell someone, I guess, who's around you. Both of the times I've had those terrible panic attacks, no one I know has been around me, and I feel like the most recent one I was on a crowded train and I really just didn't know what to do or talk to anyone around me or anything. But if you can get someone's attention, that's good. And if you have the type of panic attacks where people notice, like maybe someone will come and help you. But yeah, I think that's the main thing. If you're maybe dealing with someone who has had a panic attack, I think the best thing is to listen to what they want and need from you, rather than trying to suggest something. Unless maybe like you are like a health professional and you know specifically how to help. But I think if you just listen to them and just be with them for as long as they need you is the best thing you could probably do. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say really, but obviously like panic attacks are linked to anxiety, and I don't know, I guess I have always been like kind of an anxious person. I'm definitely someone who tends to worry mostly about stuff that's beyond my control, or things that haven't happened yet, but like I'm a planner, so I like to kind of think through things and know things in advance and have things in a certain way. So sometimes things like that will set me off, but yeah, it's not a nice feeling. It's like knots in your stomach and more. It's not pleasant at all. And I mean, I might come across as like rather confident and like, I don't know, quite maybe happy on camera, but I definitely do struggle with anxiety from time to time, and I'm quite an introverted person, even though it may not seem like it. Like, maybe the term is ambivert, but I don't like tend to get too bad in front of like talking to people. I mean, I will get nervous because that's just normal, like before you have to say something, but I think once I'm saying or doing whatever I'm supposed to do, like it's fine. But yeah, I don't like going into town when it's really busy, things like that. So yeah, also maybe just try and avoid situations that make you anxious if you do get anxious. So leaving more than enough time to travel would be one of those things. Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say. Also, I think if you are really struggling with anxiety, is to tell someone and try and get help. I think that's like the best thing for anyone to do, whether that's like medication or therapy, or seeing someone about it. Like, do what works for you. But yes, I think that's all I want to say. I don't know how useful this video is, or when I come to edit it, if I even want to put it up. But yes, I think that's all I have to say really. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time with another one. Bye!